events, I think it's important that you make sure you touch base with the right people. You know, when I was coming here today, you know, some of my people were telling me, you know, just different things that they wanted to make sure. For me, what's important for me to leave here with is that if you have questions, then make sure you ask them. You know, I don't know them all. I do business differently than a lot of people. I'm very direct. All customers aren't good customers for entrepreneurs. We'll have that conversation. But I'm a firm believer, tough times don't last, tough companies do. I see these kind of times as opportunities. I see this as an opportunity to get next to really good customers that can drive your business growth. These events are unique events because you have access to people that you didn't have access to before. And I think that's critical when it comes to business growth. I think it's critical as entrepreneurs. So don't sit by your friend if your friend can't give you no business. Sit by somebody that can give you some business. Don't follow around with your girlfriend and pick up different little knickknacks at the table. Go talk to somebody. People out here that are head of procurement. People out here that are running companies. Somebody go talk to my guys. You know, those that have known me or those that have seen me speak before, they know I'm extremely candid about entrepreneurs. I want you to be successful. 37% of Carter Brothers business is done with small, minority, or women-owned businesses. And it's a mandate. I mean, I do a couple things around there, but when you don't listen, you will get fired. I want to build relationships, and I want to do business with people to help give them the opportunities that I've been blessed enough to have. You know, obviously I've had a heck of a summer. My younger brother Chris was inducted into the Hall of Fame and had the opportunity, you know, to be in business with a guy like him. He's different than your average athlete. You know, one is he's the baby of, you know, 6 of us, and he's really not the toughest of all of us. So, but in 2000, it's like in 1999, we're walking off the football field, and Chris comes to me, and we're literally walking side by side, and he said, listen, I need to begin my transition life. I was working in a Fortune 500 company. I was happier than hell. I had no interest in wanting to work with my little brother. Zero. I got 3 professional athletes in my family. I love Chris, but I knew Chris was going to get done with football and go play golf. But my mother explained to me years ago that me and Chris have a beautiful relationship because I don't mind working hard and he don't mind taking credit for it. so it makes our relationship unique. Now I'm blessed because he's my best friend. You know, we've done amazing things together. I talk to him generally first thing in the morning. I hate talking to him at the end of the night because he talks too much. But he asked me when we were walking off the football field, he said, you made all this money for this major corporation, could you do it for us? You know, and I kind of like, hey, look, man, let's go on and go get something to eat. No reason to have this conversation. But he kept kind of coming at me, you know, and what he said to me was, listen, you give me a playbook. You build successful playbooks for business. You give me a playbook. And if I can't execute that playbook, I won't be your partner. But if I can, then me and you will go out and build a business. We started the business in '99, that was 2000. Since then we went on to design, install, engineer, maintain a little over $1 billion worth of revenue for multiple companies across the country. You know, we've done that all through relationships. 74% of Carter Brothers work comes from negotiated work. I'm not a real fan of bidding work. I understand the board of Regents system. But I'm a firm believer, people do work with people they know and they like. People do business with people they know. Not your girlfriend, not your buddy, people they know and they like. Hey, we got a security problem. Man, call John. I'll be fair. They know I'm going to handle my business. I never started out wanting to build a minority business. For 4 years, we never filled out the paperwork. I wanted to build a business. And then I wanted to take advantage of being a minority from a minority standpoint, the access that it gave me and other things. But I wanted to make sure that we built a heck of a business first. And then once we got there, we could start doing other things. You know, who remembers the Verizon commercial with the little nerdy guy with the glasses, and he's walking around talking about, can you hear me now? And everybody really doesn't pay attention. Everybody pays attention to him. But you remember the commercial where they drop out of helicopters and all the people are behind you? That's the infrastructure that you ought to be looking for. That's the relationships you ought to be looking for. You ought to be looking for a partner. I believe in partnerships. I believe in partnering with big companies for success. Because I don't want to walk into GE and they say, well, you know, John, you've been really successful, but. You say, well, hold on. I got these buddies that are all behind me that are my partners. So we can take on your large project. You know, I'm a believer in, you know, I've gotten to the point that I can do acquisitions. So, you know, I've bought companies, some good, some bad. But most recently, I bought an electrical business. I've always thought it's a great business to be in. You know, fragmented, not many women, not many people of color. So it's a business that I thought, hey, I've been wanting to get in this business, let's take a swing at it. I've owned the business for less than 60 days. We have a little over $100 million of opportunities in less than 60 days. We can't do them. We'll go partner with other people. But those are the calls that we're getting about this business, because most of them didn't believe that there was a minority of size that could take on larger projects. You know, that could go onto a campus like this and do the electrical side of it. You know, I got lucky. But I got lucky because a guy that I knew called me and said, hey man, this electrical business, you've always talked about it, these guys may be in trouble. And before it gets too bad, you may want to go talk to him. So I went and talked to him. You know, I think good deals are done during the week. I think great deals are done on the weekends. Because on the weekends, you're around people that you know and you like. You know, you don't spend the weekend with somebody you don't like. You just don't. That's my time. So, guy calls me, I meet him on a Sunday. Monday morning, we're papering the deal. And I'm like, you know, my guys are like, it took them a while for them to understand why I wanted to be in this space. Now they're like, ooh, that was a great job, John. It's like, oh, no, hold on. 2 weeks ago, y'all like, why are we doing this deal? It's a fragmented industry. I love fragmented spaces. I love that there's, you know, in the electrical space, there's 2 men in a pickup truck everywhere. That's why I got into the security business. There's a million security companies. Go home in your neighborhood. Look at the different signs. You know, Davis Security, Martin Security, ADT. There's a million of them. So it allowed me in fragmented spaces, you know that there's room to grow a business. I don't believe in working with people that what we bring to the table isn't something that they really they're really looking for. You know, so to me, partnering with another security company, they may like me because I'm a minority business, but ultimately, they see me as a competitor. Sooner or later, they're going to see me as a competitor. So I go partner with a Johnson Controls, a United Technologies, you know, a construction company, something that where my services complement what they're already doing. I think those are important factors in trying to grow your business. You know, so again, I think I go back to, you know, my mother taught us years ago, she wouldn't like you to quit anything. Just, you know, her thing was Carters don't quit. I thought it was a crop. Because I didn't really mean to sign up for no daggone French class. You know, I wasn't paying no attention. I was looking at somebody else. Oh, yeah, I'm in that class. Yeah, then you can't quit. And the reason she was like that, so I quit. You know, I'm a challenge. I'm that child in our family. Just, you know, man, I'm quit. Single mother. That next morning, getting up, eating my little Cheerios. She said, hey, so I'll see you after school. I said, oh, no, I got football practice. Oh, no, you off the football team. I said, whoa. You know, I was 14 or 15 years old. Come on, you tripping. I got to quit football? She said, yeah, you quit French. I said, I can't speak French. She said, that's why you're taking the daggone class. So, as a freshman who was on the varsity, my mother made me quit playing football. I missed 7 games. I don't think I've quit anything since then. You know, so when I get in something, I'm there for the long haul. I'm there because I think that's one of the things that she instilled in us is the follow through. You know, and relationships are every part of that. Every part of that. You know, when you look at this conference, you know, we have a huge conference coming up at the end of October. We've had 4 or 5 meetings about that conference already. Because if my guys go there unprepared, and if I go unprepared, I got a problem. You can't go to a conference and not look at the information, not understand who you want to talk to and why. Here's the opportunities that they have in front of them. No, I don't really want to spend a lot of time over here with the finance guy because the construction guy got $200 or $300 million worth of projects. So that's where I should be focusing at. You got to figure out when you're going through these how to navigate through the mess. There's a lot of stuff, man. You got to get through that. You got to get through it to the point that where it's benefiting you and your family. That's what this is all about. You know, the Reverend and her excitement. Come on, girl. Huh? This is what this is about. I come to this thing, I'm coming to get some work. Y'all don't pay no attention, I'm going to walk right by you and give me some work. If my guys start doing it, or my people that's with me, they don't have a problem with it. We got a plan coming to something like this. You have to. They planned it. Christine planned it. Why would you not plan it? This is your business. She can get you in the door, but she can't keep you there. She can't make you prepared. There's people out here that have played roles in Carter Brothers' growth. Don, stand up. Stand up. Stacy, stand up. Nita, stand up. Mr. Mitchell, stand up. Fire sign, stand up. Now I'm sure there's others, but these people I've met on my journey. They ain't called me and say they were coming here. They annoyed me when I walked through there. You know, they all got comments. You know, they're going to tell you, hey, you need to be doing this. But now some of that you got to take. Because candidly, I know those people care about my business. They care about my success. You know, Stacy, I'm putting her on the spot. Stacy, president of GMSD said, come here. I'm like, come here. Your certification, you need to do. I ain't looking at no certification in 10 years. I got 200 some people working with me. Somebody better get the damn certification done. But Stacy, because she knows me, we're going to call them right now. No, we're not. I couldn't tell you what's on the certification. But someone does. But the fact that she cared enough, she could have walked right by me. She could have walked right by me. My certification could have had a problem. And then she knows me well enough, somebody in that office is going to have a problem. But you got to find those kind of people. You got to find people that you can pick up the phone. you know, I got a unique relationship with GE. So it all started because we're all from Ohio. Chairman of General Electric is from Finneytown, Ohio. We're from Middletown, Ohio, 17 miles apart. He played basketball against my older brother Bush. Just happened to be doing a little research on him. Hey, Finneytown, hey, homeboy. He's like, I mean, we're GE, what could we possibly do for you? Nothing, just wanted to say hi. That was in '98. In 2005, we started a better relationship because they were now a security manufacturer. In 2007, I bought a $42 million business from them, walking down a golf course. And they funded the whole thing. It was all started from a relationship. Just a relationship. I recently have sold that business. That's why I wanted to buy something else. Because that business no longer fit the direction that I wanted to take my business. So now I'm looking for some new friends. Somebody here gonna be my friend. We're gonna be friends in here today. You know, again, I mean, you know, I laugh and joke about a lot of things. You know, I'm a firm believer. You work hard. You know, you reap the benefits of it. But I can't be any more serious when I talk about relationships and the value that they bring to you and your family. You know, period. You know, don't walk by, just, you know, don't walk by that person. Oh, I really need to get to them. Stand there and wait. He's a little busy. You know, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Okay, I'll walk with you. You know, okay, I know you're going in the man's bathroom. I'll walk with you, buddy. Just, you know, I'll be sitting here waiting when you come out. Because we need to have a conversation. If you don't take your business seriously, why should they? I mean, why should they? I don't run, I've been blessed enough to have been offered great opportunities, and I've run bigger companies. I have zero interest. You know, there's a book out there called Good to Great. And I'm not a huge reader, but I do read every now and then. But I did read this book. And Good to Great talks about the 3 circles of your life. Right? Talks about what you get paid to do, what you love to do, what's your passion, and then what do you believe God put you on earth to do. And then the basis of it is, how do those 3 circles interline with each other? And if you go home and do this exercise, talk about what you get paid to do today. I'm in marketing, so I get paid to do this. My passion is people, leadership, so on and so forth. And then this is what I believe God put me on earth to do. As I stand here today, I'm in the middle. I don't want another job. This is the best job in the world to me. I run a family business. I've grown it. I've given my brothers and sisters opportunities inside the business. I give other people opportunities inside of Carter Brothers. I lead. I get a chance to train other people. And I believe God put me on earth to do that. 3 professional athletes in my family. I never wanted to be a professional athlete. Played, knew it would get me to college, got me out of projects. I knew I wasn't going to work at Arco Steel. I wasn't going to no steel mill. So I used that talent. But I always wanted to run a business. I've been running a business since I was 14. I was 14 years old. I had a construction cleanup company. I used to drive illegally, obviously. But that was the only way that I would get back and forth to work. I ran the company. My father started it. He was a construction guy. A lot of people do that. They start a business because they know the skill set, but they can't run the parameters of the business. So that's what I did. I've been doing this since I was 14. I love to do it. It is my passion. I believe I wake up with the grace of God every day. It don't get no better than what I'm doing. Period. So when I come to this, or you hear me talk from my heart. I don't need no paperwork. I don't need none of it. I'll tell you our story. I'm going to work harder than most. I left my office at 2:45 this morning. Those that know me get emails from me 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I don't expect you to respond. Sometimes. I'm a certified workaholic. But when I'm done, you know, I go spend time with friends and family and all those other things. But when it comes to my business, man, I take my business serious. I take my business the same way I took raising my son. That's mine. And if you have to have that kind of passion about what you're doing every day, you got to believe in that. And if you do, I can guarantee you you'll be successful, more successful than the person sitting next to you that leaves the office at 5 o'clock. Told my assistant the other day, change my damn office. Put me upstairs, because if I sit here and watch people leave my office at 5 o'clock, man, I'm going to have a heart attack. Can't do it. Can't do it. Put me on the back of the building. Put me on the back of the building, I don't want to even see the parking lot. I don't want to see it. I used to travel a lot more. Now I got spending more time in the office. I'm like, man, no. Put me upstairs. She's like, this is driving you crazy, ain't it? Absolutely. I was like, what? I thought, what was that boy doing? Now, I have a goofy memory. I was born with I don't forget much. Faces, I don't forget much. So that hurts a lot of people. But I generally know my employees. Not because they walking around with Carter Brothers shirts. I'm like, that boy's an estimator, ain't it? Don't we got to be in tomorrow? Where he going? I know he ain't got no laptop at home. So, but there are times you have to rein that in. So I've learned that. I have, when we look at the last 5 years in this economy and how hard it's been, think about where you are today. Look around at people that you knew 5 years ago that they're not here. They didn't do something within their business to prepare it for the success that to get through that tough economy. So you have a lot going for yourself because we're coming out of all this mess. I mean, if we can get some of the politicians just to, kind of move some things out the way for us, would be a little bit better. But we're coming out of this mess. I sit on a bank board. Banks are starting to give people money again. So again, I think this is a unique opportunity. And every chance you get one of these opportunities, it's up to you to take advantage of it. Period. Listen, I'll field questions. I know Christine, where she's in the back somewhere. If you have questions, man, you can stand up and ask me, and I'll answer what you need me to. I don't want to break all of her rules, but there are one that I will. You got a question? I don't mind answering it. I don't mind kind of walking through it. If not, I'll be walking around. We can kind of talk. My story, again, is really simple. I think it's important for you to spend the right time with the right people at these kind of opportunity fairs. I can't tell you that enough. I really can't. Partnering breeds success. In closing, I'll tell you this. How many entrepreneurs are in the room? Stand up, please. Now, how many entrepreneurs are married or in a relationship? All right? So, I believe that you're in a relationship or you're married because you believe that that person would make you a better person. You could do further. You can go further with someone than you could on your own. You're passionate about that relationship. Y'all sit down, I'm sorry. You're passionate about that relationship, correct? You are passionate about that relationship, right, young lady? Okay. That's what I want from you as an entrepreneur. I want you, as you look at partners, as you look at people you want to do business with, These people are going to help you be a better entrepreneur. Think of them as you think of your, listen, because if they don't think you're committed to them, why should they help you? Nobody's looking for a fly-by-night. All of these procurement people, big companies, they're looking for partners. I mean, they're looking for partners. They're looking for people that they can do business with, job after job after job after job. No one in here wants to continue training a new company. Well, this is the way we do business here. That costs them money. They're looking for good partners. That's how you have to think about it when you're out here today and as you continue to build your businesses. I appreciate everybody's time. Again, Christine, thank you for allowing me to come up and speak. And we'll field your questions however you deem fit, young lady.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carter. One more round of applause. We have volunteers standing by to collect cards with your questions. So if you have questions, I hope you've written them down. While they're collecting the questions, they're also going to collect your business card for the door prize drawing. And while they're doing that, we just have a little thank you to you, Mr. Carter. This is an appreciation for your participation of the 7th Annual University System of Georgia Procurement Expo, hosted by Savannah State University.
Thank you.
Ernie. Come on up, Ernie. Don't be shy. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, ma'am.
And while our volunteers are collecting your business cards and your questions, just like to restate that we've got some wonderful sessions this afternoon, starting at 1 o'clock. The current breakout sessions will be held in Tiger Arena. But we'll tell you more about that later. Do we have some?
Yes, I have a question.
Wonderful. We do have questions. Thank you so much. Do we have more questions?
How can we set up a quick meeting? Reggie, stand up. There you go. Whoever asked the question.
Okay. You mentioned that a high percentage of Carter Brothers business is doing through small business, women, minority, and disadvantaged. What about veteran and service disabled veteran-owned businesses? How does this group fit into your future plans / growth?
Well, one is I have a partnership with a disabled vet, a guy that I've known for basically 30 plus years. His name is General Larry Ellis. He's one of 4 African-American 4-star generals. You know, he is, I spend time, it's kind of funny because he says at times that I mentor him. I don't know how that works out. But, so I partner with him, and we have 2 other ones that we work with currently. You know, we do a lot of work for the VA, so we use disabled vets and then disadvantaged businesses kind of in that role. So but right now, General Ellis is kind of the focus of my partnership, because I think, I just think General Ellis is just a really unique individual. And I don't know, become a 4-star general that's a story in itself. So.
Okay. What is What's your advice to family members working together in a small business?
Fire. Well, I mean, I say it two ways. Now, you heard me talk about the book, and I believe I'm in a great place now. It wasn't always the case. I told you early on when we started building Carter Brothers, I wanted to build a great company first. So candidly, outside of Chris, no family members work for me. My father, who was came out of the construction space, was there to help me at first. And one day I just kind of said, that's probably not working out. I'd rather give you some money and you stop being in office. Because he's bringing donuts every day. All the ladies and stuff are waiting for Daddy to come and donuts. Then it's kind of hard for me to tell people to do something when Dad is in the room talking to them. It's like, Dad. Yes, son. So Chris told me I couldn't fire him. I didn't fire him. I retired his behind. But listen. I think family members are important in a business. But there are days. Me and Chris debate. But we always go back and talk. The thing about family members are they're overly passionate about you running a business and your business because they love you more, more than anybody else. So sometimes you have to there's a boundary that you have to set, within that. But I mean, my brother, I have a brother who does sales for me, and he used to report directly to me, and I changed that because that wasn't going to work. After I fired him 10 times, and I made him report to Reggie, and now he really is successful. Because Reggie put boundaries around him that have nothing to do with me being the CEO. So I think there are ways you just have to figure out how to work with them. But there are days it will be tough now. There are days it's going to be tough. Don't knock your mom and your daddy, though. You can't run a business with them sitting in there. You can't tell them what to do.
Okay, that addressed another question that we had that dealt with how do you take on your company's biggest internal challenges? I think you spoke to some of that.
Yeah, I mean, planning. I mean, planning. Strategic planning. Don't just be sitting in a room talking about. But I think you strategically got to figure out how to handle big issues. And again, you got to, when there are big issues, you got to deal with them. I have several things in my company, but I will never fire anyone for bringing me bad news. I will fire everyone that doesn't allow the news to get to me. If I'm the only person that can make the decision of where we should go, and someone disallows that information to get to me, then that doesn't work for me. So strategic planning, and again, I think it goes back to relationships. Get people that have done stuff. I am the least educated person at my company. My COO is borderline brilliant. Wharton School of Business. I mean, he's, accomplished from everything. I stole him from corporate America. But I give him stuff, and boy, he takes it and he goes. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer, get people that are smarter than you, too. I don't tell him he's smarter than me.
How do you manage offices outside your home base?
It's tough. It's tough. You got to spend a lot of time out on the road because people that are away from the headquarters start to feel like they're on an island. So I think it's really important. I spend a lot of time on the road generally. And I do little town halls. Outside the new business, I don't have an employee that's never been to my house, seen me in my environment. And those that know me, whether it's a cookout or, just hanging out around the house, watching sports, whatever the case may be, every employee has been to my house. I want them to understand that they're a part of my family. And I'm a believer that you have to get people to think about your business while they're not working. And I think that's a huge success, piece of our success. People feel like they're a part. I mean, we took 60 people to the Hall of Fame that were associated with us because we thought it was important that they be a part of it because they've seen it over all this time. I mean, they've seen it. We had a member of our staff died, and the guy was really just the field, just took care of everything. He was kind of a do-all. He passed away recently. Every employee from the corporate headquarters except one went to Florida for his funeral because he impacted so many people like that. And I think it's important. He did that because of what he believed. I mean, he had more Carter Brothers stuff. He probably stole more shirts. The shirts would come in, there'd be 2 mediums missing already. So, but I think it's important that people believe in kind of the direction that you're going in.
Now, one more question for you. What banks are starting to lend money?
Well, first of all, there are banks, there are other opportunities. But one is, all banks right now have a mandate from the SBA. A mandate. So if you're not utilizing, you just don't go to a bank and say, I need a loan. You go to a bank with a plan, but most people in this room, I don't care how big you are. I had an SBA loan. Because under the Jobs Act, they changed the requirements. All that net worth stuff and all that other stuff was thrown out the door. So they were giving out $5 million loans, 100 to $5 million. They were giving out $5 million loans cheap for 10 years. Oh, excuse me, I'm coming. I'll take one of those. But you gotta go look at those things. Wells Fargo, really aggressive right now. Bank of America's coming along. The regional banks, BB&T, those guys, those are opportunities. But again, I think you got to utilize the whole spectrum from a financial perspective. And the federal government does play a role in there. An SBA loan does not make you a bad company or anything else. You should utilize that, that facility.
Well, this last question, and I swear I did not plant it, I think I'll answer. It says, how do I do business with the Board of Regents through Georgia? Well, let me tell you how. You attend the concurrent breakout sessions this afternoon on doing business in the areas of general procurement, information technology, and facilities. And then talk to our exhibitors over at Tiger Arena next door. Let's give Mr. Carver a